Hey guys, today we're finally talking about Chanel's Tweed palettes, and I have all 4 Tweed Chanel palettes and I'm going to show you close-ups and swatches in this video. I'm also going to be sharing with you my initial thoughts, my first impressions. I'm going to share with you how the powders feel, and I would love to discuss with you also, so be sure to join me in the comment section. I can't wait to read your comments. I want to discuss this collection together because this is probably the most anticipated makeup release of 2022. We have been anticipating this Tweed palette for such a long time, and we've seen so many photos, swatches all over the internet. So in this video I really decided to take my time and show you really good high quality close-ups and swatches of the palettes. I made sure that my lighting is right so that you are going to be able to see the palettes and the colors as they look in real life. If you're new here and you love makeup, be sure to join the fun. It doesn't matter whether you're a makeup enthusiast or a professional. I would love to have you, and I would love if you could join this amazing beauty community that we have here. We have so many amazing people here. So I can't wait to discuss this collection with you. Now, I used one of the palettes today for the first time, but today is literally the first day that I'm touching the palettes, that I'm swatching them, that I'm seeing close-ups of the palettes, and I wanted to make this video a little bit more chatty. I wanted to make sure that I'm giving you the best possible quality swatches and close-ups of the palettes. As a lot of you know, I'm a huge Chanel lover, and I mentioned that I'm going to buy all of the Tweed palettes. No matter how many Tweed palettes Chanel release, I'm going to buy them. However, I realized that not everyone is ready to splurge on all 4 palettes, and that's why I want to make sure that I'm giving you really the best quality close-ups and swatches of the palettes, because I know that a lot of people are not going to be able to see them in person. So be sure to watch in HD because you're going to get the best experience, and preferably watch on your laptop or desktop computer. That's how you're going to get the best experience of the palettes. I made sure, and I actually did a lot of testing when I was filming the palettes, because I wanted to make sure that you're going to see really high quality footage. You're going to see the palettes exactly in the same way that I see them here in real life and in natural light, so that you can make an informed decision for yourself whether you want any of these palettes, whether you want 1 or 2 or more palettes. I think that this release is truly spectacular, and I've already talked about this release a few months ago. As I'm talking, I'm going to be inserting close-ups and swatches of the palettes because I believe that this is going to be more useful to you to actually look at the palettes, and I want us all to have a look at the palettes, and I can't wait to read your comments because we are an amazing community and your opinion and your thoughts are very important to me. So please be sure to comment. Let me know which ones of the Tweed palettes are your favorites, which ones are you planning to purchase. Now, a little information about the Tweed collection from Chanel. Unfortunately, this collection is going to be a limited edition. This was confirmed. I asked a few of my Chanel consultants from different countries and they all confirmed that this is going to be a limited edition collection. I was really hoping that Chanel are going to make this collection permanent, because these are definitely timeless color stories that I would love to have on repeat and that I would love to repurchase and to have the chance to repurchase. So just to keep that in mind, if you like any of the palettes, these are going to be limited edition, and once they are gone for good. They are not coming back, unfortunately. But please leave a comment and tell Chanel that we want this to be permanent collection. Probably they're going to hear us. I'm going to make sure to tag them in this video so that they can watch, and I really want this collection to be permanent because I think that the color stories are truly exceptional. This year Chanel are doing great with the makeup releases. They literally don't have a weak makeup release. I think that they are doing a great job. So bravo to the whole team that's responsible for the makeup creation at Chanel. Way to go, Chanel. The Tweed collection features 4 Les 4 Ombres Tweed palettes, and we have number 01 Tweed Cuivré, which is a beautiful coppery palette. The colors are absolutely timeless. Then we have 02 Tweed Purple, which is gorgeous purplish eyeshadow palette. Then we have 03 Tweed Fauve, which is like a tan palette. And then we have 04, which is Brune et Rose. Right now it's the late afternoon, and since early in the morning I have been filming the palettes in different lighting, changing my setting. I was going out on the terrace, I was coming inside, I was literally filming in the whole apartment just to make sure that I'm finding the best lighting and the best angles to show you the palettes. Now all of the 4 palettes are absolutely stunning, truly gorgeous, and I'm definitely going to purchase a backup for 04 because this is my favorite one. The Tweed makeup collection by Chanel matches perfectly the fall winter fashion show, and the star of the fashion show was the Chanel Tweed jacket, and this makeup collection actually celebrates the iconic Chanel Tweed jacket. Who doesn't want to have the Chanel Tweed jacket? It's so iconic and it's one of the symbols of Chanel. I really enjoy the fact that actually Chanel included beautiful tweed pouches. As a lot of you know, the Chanel eyeshadow palettes always come in a black velvety pouch. This time the pouch is from actual tweed. Here I'm going to show you also how it looks on the inside because I filmed everything, and each of the tweed pouches here, each of the tweed cases are different and they match the color story of the eyeshadow palette. I think that this is incredibly beautiful touch from Chanel. And once again, leave a comment, tell Chanel that we want this to be a permanent collection. If someone from Chanel ever happens to watch this video, please make this collection permanent. You have to make this collection permanent. It's so iconic for Chanel. I think that it's a beautiful creation. Everything that they created this year is so beautiful. Okay guys, now I would like to take a closer look at each of the palettes and tell you a little bit more about how they feel when I start touching the colors and when I start swatching them. So what's interesting here is that each of the palettes actually has a different formulation. So starting with the Tweed number 1, this one is the most pigmented. The colors of this tweed are the most pigmented and they feel softer than the other 3. So the other 3 feel a little bit more firm. The powders feel a little bit more firm compared to the Tweed number 1, so they have different formulations apparently. And the Tweed number 1 has the most shimmery colors. I'm going to give you a close-up here, and I'm going to make sure to insert swatches as well because I want to make sure that you're seeing the best possible footage that I was able to get today. These are, I would say, the classic Chanel colors. Probably this one is going to be the most loved one. I really like how the colors blend. They feel incredibly soft, lovely, beautiful. And this color here actually reminds me of one of the colors in Tissé Rivoli, which is my favorite Chanel eyeshadow quad, but I'm going to make sure to have a look at my whole Chanel collection, all of the quads that I have, and I'm going to compare. But I think that these colors are quite unique. This shade here definitely reminds me of one of the colors of Tissé Rivoli because it is a very interesting. Let me go ahead and show you. So it's this color here. It's a very interesting brown color. And then here we also have a topper shade. This one here is a topper shade. Of course, I believe that you can use it all over the eyelid as well if you want to, but it's more like a topper shade. I want to show you. It's just is quite shimmery. So here I've swatched approximately 3 times to get this amount of color so that you can see. But I think that it's going to look beautiful, this color on top of each of these 3. Of course, I'm going to give you more information as I start using them. And I'm going to start using them as of today. Moving on to Tweed number 2, and this is the pinkish palette, pinkish/purplish palette. I think that the colors are beautiful, but this one feels very different in terms of formulation. So these palette has more firmly pressed pigment, so I have to dip my finger a little bit more so that I can get the color. I'm sure that the colors are going to blend beautifully on the eyelids. I'm still about to try them, but the powders are just more firmly pressed and they feel incredibly light when I start swatching them. So I'm going to show you the swatches here. So here we have the Tweed number 2, and you can see that the colors are actually very tender. Now I really love this shade here, the pale pink shade. I think that it's quite extraordinary, and I'm not sure if the camera is going to be able to show the real beauty of this color. I think it's going to look absolutely stunning used all over the eyelid. If you have more fair skin tone, I think that this one is going to look absolutely stunning all over the eyelid. But overall, I think that these colors, all of the Tweed palettes, I believe that are going to look beautiful on different skin tones. We don't have a matte color here, but all of the colors have a very light satin finish. So they don't have shimmer whatsoever compared to the Tweed number one. The Tweed number one definitely have more visible satin finish, more intense satin finish. Whereas here, the colors just have a very nice sheen, but not shimmer. It's a very, very subtle satin finish. All of the four colors here have very subtle satin finish. And then moving on to Tweed number 3. So the Tweed number 3 actually has one luminous matte color, one classic satin finish color. This one, again, I would say that it's a luminous matte color, and this one is a light satin finish color. So here in Tweed number 3, we have different finishes. And I want to give you a close-up of the swatches. Right now, these swatches are with my studio lights. Of course, I'm going to insert swatches also in natural light, in direct sunlight, so that you can see. But here we have the luminous matte colors, these two colors, luminous matte. Then we have one classic satin finish color, the classic satin finish that you could expect from Chanel. And this one is a very subtle satin finish. Again, a beautiful palette. These colors feel firmly pressed. This one has the typical Chanel satin formulation, and these three colors are firmly pressed, but not as much as the purplish palette. Now moving on to, probably this is going to be my favorite, the Tweed number 4. The reason why I'm so attracted to this palette is because two of the colors, the top two shades, actually look very similar to the discontinued Tissé Mademoiselle eyeshadow palette, which I have, and I'm going to show you comparison swatches of this one. But Tissé Mademoiselle was one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. I really didn't understand why Chanel decided to discontinue this incredibly beautiful palette. But I would say that these three colors are almost like dupes to Tissé Mademoiselle. I just need to get my Tissé Mademoiselle and swatch it for you in my next video. But let's take a closer look at the palettes. Now I have to say that I'm very attracted to this eyeshadow palette in particular because the colors are very easy to wear every single day. These three colors definitely are very similar to Tissé Mademoiselle, but we have a twist here. This color here, beautiful, shimmery, and I think that it's going to bring a lot of uniqueness and life to this palette. Okay, so I'm going to show you how it looks. There is not actually a pinkish shade. I suppose that the rose here comes from this shade. It's not really pink. You can definitely see it here on my arm. Yes, it does have a little bit of pinkish. It does have a little bit of this very soft, I would say, pinkish beige color, the typical Chanel kind of color that you can't really tell what is the color. It's hard to describe it, but it's so sophisticated, elegant, beautiful, timeless. I think that this palette is going to be the one that I'm going to be using the most, and this is definitely one that I'm going to purchase a second one from this one because I cannot purchase Tissé Mademoiselle anymore. It's not available, so I definitely want to have a backup of this palette because I see that this is the kind of palette that I'm going to be using every single day, just like I used to wear Tissé Mademoiselle. Now today when I started filming early in the morning, I was thinking actually that I'm not going to wear any makeup, but then when I started swatching the palettes, I just couldn't help myself. I had to try the one that I believe is my favorite. So this is the 04 Tweed Brun et Rose. I think that this is going to be my favorite. Now this is definitely very similar, as I mentioned before, to my favorite Tissé Mademoiselle, but it's such a beautiful twist. I can't believe that I'm saying this, but this is actually even more beautiful than the iconic Tissé Mademoiselle that was discontinued, because the top two shades are definitely quite similar to Tissé Mademoiselle, but they are a little bit more intense. I know this because I've had two of the Tissé Mademoiselle eyeshadow palettes. This is one of the eyeshadow palettes from Chanel that I was repurchasing. Tissé Mademoiselle and Tissé Rivoli are the two favorite eyeshadow palettes, and unfortunately once they discontinued Tissé Mademoiselle, I was not able to repurchase it anymore. But this is a little bit more intense and more playful compared to Tissé Mademoiselle. I think that also these colors, it has the DNA of Tissé Mademoiselle, but at the same time I think that this is going to be the palette that is going to suit so many different skin tones. You can see that I have fair skin tone, but I only used the palest shade here all over my eyelid. Then I used this as a topper. Now this is a very beautiful topper. It's not your typical topper. I think that I can use this also all over my eyelid. This palette I think is a must-have if you have similar makeup style like mine. I think that you're going to enjoy this palette a lot. It's so beautiful. I'm definitely purchasing another one. Today when I was doing my makeup, I didn't even touch the deepest color, so you can imagine that these eyeshadow palettes are actually going to suit a lot of multiple skin tones. Initially when I was looking at the Brune et Rose, I was thinking that this was going to be the kind of palette that is going to be suitable mostly for fair skin tones. However, once I started applying the colors on my eyelids, I realized that this is actually going to suit a lot of skin tones, even tan skin tone, because you can mix it with the deepest color. I think that also the rosy shade here, it's not really a pink shade. It's the most sophisticated, almost like a champagne rose color. It looks like a topper, but it definitely can be used on top of the eyeshadows, but also can be used alone, because when I started actually applying it on my eyelid, it has enough coverage to be used alone on the eyelid. The reason why I decided not to create a makeup look in front of camera today is because I'm literally touching the palettes for the first time, and I want to make a dedicated video for each of the palettes. Today I just wanted to post this video and to share it with you because I want to discuss with you. I want to have a discussion with you because I know that a lot of you guys are huge Chanel lovers, just as like me. I know that we have professional makeup artists here and so many makeup enthusiasts, and I just wanted to share this collection with you right away. I wanted to show you the palettes and the swatches, and I wanted to discuss with you. Let me know what you think of this collection. I would love to have a discussion with you on this collection because I know that a lot of people in this community have been anticipating this makeup collection, and a lot of people actually have been saving to purchase all 4 palettes of this collection. I think that this collection is truly spectacular, beautiful, and it's worth actually skipping the other releases because we've seen already photos of what's coming this fall season, and I think that nothing can beat this Tweed collection from Chanel. I think that definitely this is my #1 collection, and it's probably going to be my #1 collection for 2022. So that was all for today's video. I truly enjoyed spending time with you. I can't wait to get in the comments and to see what are your thoughts and to read your comments. I feel truly inspired when I read your comments, so I can't wait to communicate with you. I can't wait to discuss this collection with you. And thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I know how precious time is, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.